Indian Railways is an absolute giant, right? I mean, it's one of the biggest employers on the entire planet. But with a system that huge, you've got to have some serious discipline to keep things running. So what actually happens when someone messes up? Yeah, have you ever wondered about that? When you've got a workforce that massive and public safety is literally on the line, how do you handle misconduct? Well, it's not just some random decision. Turns out they have a very specific playbook for all of this. And this is it. The whole show is run by this one single rulebook, the Railway Servants Discipline and Appeal Rules from, wait for it, 1968. Yep, for more than half a century, this document has been the final word on discipline for the entire network. Kind of wild, right? All right, so let's get into it. How does this whole process actually kick off? We're talking from the moment an accusation is made all the way to a formal inquiry. Okay, so a lot of the time, the very first thing that happens is a suspension. Now, this isn't a punishment, not yet anyway. It's more like hitting the pause button. The employee is temporarily taken off duty while the whole situation gets investigated. So after that initial suspension, things get a bit more formal. First, the specific charges are written up. Then an official inquiry is held to look at all the evidence and hear both sides of the story. It's a very structured, step-by-step thing. But here's a really interesting detail, a key protection for the employee. A suspension can't just drag on forever. An order is only good for 90 days. If they want to extend it, it has to be officially reviewed before that deadline. If not, poof, the suspension becomes invalid. It's a built-in check on the system. Okay, so the inquiry is done. Now what? Well, this is where we get to the consequences. And they're split into two main buckets, minor and major penalties. And this slide really lays out the stakes. On one side, you've got your minor penalties. Think of things like a censure. That's basically a formal slap on the wrist that goes on your permanent record. Or maybe your promotion gets put on hold for a bit. On the other side, though, the major penalties. And these are career-ending. We're talking compulsory retirement, removal from service, or just straight-up dismissal. The difference is huge. And you can bet the rules get extra strict when it comes to safety. This quote from the rulebook itself says it all. If someone is found guilty of something that leads to a train collision, the rules basically say the penalty should be removal or dismissal. It shows you just how seriously they take this stuff. Public safety is priority number one, and the punishments are designed to reflect that. But hold on. The story doesn't necessarily end there. Even after a decision is made, there's still one more step, the right to appeal. That's right. Every single railway employee has the right to challenge a decision. And it's not just for the big career-ending stuff. You can appeal an order of suspension, any penalty that's imposed on you, or even an order that messes with your pay or your pension. But you can't wait forever. There's a clock ticking. An employee has a window of exactly 45 days from the moment they get the order to file their appeal. So you've got to act fast. And all of this brings us back to that one fascinating fact. This rulebook is from 1968. It was written for a totally different world, yet it's still running the show today for one of the most vital public services. So it really makes you think, right? In today's world, how do you use a system this old to strike that perfect balance between holding people accountable for public safety and, at the same time, protecting the rights of your employees? It's a tough question,